More than 3,000 Chinese nationals stranded in Thailand have so far returned home on Chinese emergency chartered flights. Some of the tourists have been recounting their experiences as anti-government protesters occupied two main airports in Bangkok. Zheng Siwei has the details.
This man flew into Bangkok after a business trip in Australia. He was in the Thai capital only for a transfer flight back to Beijing. But he was delayed after air traffic in Bangkok was interrupted when anti-government protesters occupied the airport. He had nothing to do but stay in his hotel, and he also said he was afraid to go to crowded areas. Travel agencies arranged for the tourists from Beijing to stay in hotels located in downtown Bangkok. During the first couple of days, they went swimming in the hotel pools and shopped at nearby supermarkets. But as the days dragged on, they were no longer in the mood for such activities. They were more interested in watching TV for an update on the situation at the airport. The tourists were thrilled when they heard the Chinese government was going to send emergency charter planes to bring them back home.
After 2 days in the hotel, I was very anxious to get back home.
The tourists packed their bags as quickly as possible and rushed to the Utapao military air base. The facilities there are naturally not the same as at a civilian airport, and foreign tourists crammed the small airport, which normally has a capacity for far fewer people. A Chinese plane was scheduled to take off at 7:30 on Sunday evening, but it was not until 1 o'clock on Monday morning that the tourists were able to board. But the problems were finally resolved. After a 4-hour flight, the plane operated by Air China landed in Beijing at 5:30 on Monday morning, and the passengers arrived home safe and sound. Zheng Siwei, CCTV.
A senior tourism official says there are now 240,000 stranded foreign tourists in Thailand. Anti-government protesters continue to paralyze Bangkok's two main airports with sit-ins that began a week ago. The Thai government has designated a hall at Bangkok's International Exhibition Centre as the international flight check-in for the Utapao airport. Located some 200 kilometers from Bangkok, Utapao is serving as a temporary airport. But as a military airbase, the available space for passengers is very limited. Meanwhile, attacks continue against the anti-government protesters. Early on Tuesday, an explosive device outside Bangkok's Dong Muan domestic airport was detonated, killing one person and injuring 22.